Hi, my name's Helen. This is my channel, Helen Mary Jo. If you're new here, then welcome. If you're returning, thank you. And if you're a house bell, hello. Today I am doing three things really. I'm getting ahead for Christmas. I'm going to be making my sausage meat stuffing, my pigs in blankets, and my make ahead gravy. And if I could only make one of those things today, it would be the gravy, because that saves you so much time on Christmas Day. And, you know, that is something that needs quite a lot of attention, really. And I think everything is saved by a good hot gravy on Christmas Day. So I'm going to make the Jamie Oliver gravy, and I've made this now for the last few years. And I'm going to prep that. And then while that's cooking, I am going to show you this watch that I've been given and the Ultenic vacuum cleaner. So this gravy is so easy, really. It takes a bit of prep, but once it's prepped, and I'm making it in the air fryer because I just thought it was the easiest thing to do. I don't want to put the oven on for this. So in the pan, I'm just putting some bay leaves. I haven't got any sage, but I've got the rosemary and I've got star anise, and that's all going in. And then I've got some washed and chopped carrots. It's all in the recipe. 2 carrots, 2 onions. And this is all helps to form the base of the stock. I'll just cut this celery up, forgot that bit. Then I've got 3 sticks of celery. So all that goes in, and some bacon, nice tasty bacon on the top of there, smoked bacon. And then the chicken wings. It really is as easy as that. So that is quite full, but that's fine. It does say to break them up a little bit, but I am going to break them up halfway through the cooking. So I'm just going to put some oil on there, just to get them going, and then some salt and pepper. I won't go mad with the salt because of the bacon, and you know, you can always add that at the next stage. So basically you're roasting these off to start to give you the flavour for the base of your stock. And in Jamie's recipe, I think he does it all in a tray, and then he puts the tray on the hob in order to, you know, scrape the tasty bits that have stuck to the base of the tray. I've got an induction hob, so none of my trays will do that, so I will have to transfer this to a pan. But I've done that for the last few years, it's not a big deal. Now I'm going to put that on and hope that it's not too noisy. This is my Ultenic. This is also, the vacuum cleaner's Ultenic, and so is this. So I'll put that on. Yeah, that's quite quiet, isn't it? I can't hear it at all, but then I haven't popped my ears. So I've put that on. Then I'm going to kind of change the subject and show you this watch. Now, I did review a Parsonver watch, I think it's over a year ago now, and they asked me if I would show another one. And it's just such a fabulous discount, I had to share it with you. So it is a smartwatch. Obviously, it's a fairly basic smartwatch, but it's enough for me. I'm not that technically minded, but it's also really good, I think, for younger people, or people that, you know, just can't run to an Apple Watch. I mean, at the end of the day, I think they're a couple of £100. Or more or less, I don't know. They're a lot of money. This is coming in at under £30, and obviously it tells the time. So you can see it tells the time. It gives me my emails. It gives me my WhatsApp messages. It gives me. It was funny yesterday. I put music on, and suddenly Rob and I were sitting here, and we were like, "Where's that music coming from?" It was my phone that was in my handbag playing music. Honestly, we're so useless. And hang on, where's that gone? So it's got a camera, it's got a breathing thing, you know, to train your breathing. It's got Find My Phone, It's got a timer, a stopwatch and a torch. So for under £30, I think that is incredible. I mean, absolutely incredible. It charges, it's got its own little charging cable, and tells you how many steps you've done. It does all the usual things you would expect, but you can't like pay with it or anything like that. You know, it's not that fancy, but I think it looks quite nice. So, you know, I don't wear a watch like this. I'm, you know, but last night I was intrigued to see how many steps I'd done, because I'd been shopping, and I've been watching, or not watching, but seeing how my sleep pattern is. And although I'm using the CBD oil, which does seem to have stopped the anxiety, I think my sleep has improved, but where I seem to be lacking is in the deep sleep, and I haven't looked at how much I'm supposed to be getting. But anyway, that's by the by. So I would highly recommend this watch. There's a few different styles and different coloured bracelets. I just said send me what you like, really. And I'll probably give this to Hattie. It might be too big for her, but I think it's such excellent value. I just had to show it to you for, you know, for a gift, or just for yourself if you just fancy. Kind of gives you like an entry level, doesn't it, into that kind of smartwatch, to see if you might want to splash out on the big money. So that's the watch. The second thing that I need to show you is the Ultenic vacuum cleaner. Now I showed it to you before. I'm just going to grab it. And I did mention this is my vacuum cleaner of choice, which sounds a bit ridiculous, but you know, I've got a Bosch in that. I pointed to the understairs cupboard. You're all familiar with that. It's usually where I usually stand. And this is the one I am choosing to use. Now, the main reason why is the light on the front. And the light on the front, and also the, what would you call it? It's like the speedometer, because I'm trying to do all of this before I put it on, because obviously last time everyone said I can't hear a word you're saying. So it's got a green light on it all the time, but then it's got another light that shows you a bit further. And I actually vacuum the bathroom. Our downstairs bathroom doesn't have any windows, and I actually vacuum that in the dark now, and it shows you every little bit of hair or dust on the floor. It's remarkable because it looks clean. And then when you put the light on, you know, obviously you can put the light on, but when you put this light on, you can see what you can't see with the naked eye. Well, it is the naked eye, but you know what I'm saying? It sort of throws the light at the level of the dust, and so you can see it. The other thing I like about it is that depending what speed you have it on, like how strong you have the suction, tells you how long you've got left. And so, you know, the other day, the number was running down, and I thought, well, I must do the front room. That's kind of my next bit I need to do. And I left the bathroom until it had recharged again. So I will put it on, but I know you won't be able to hear me. But, so that had 30 minutes vacuum on the lowest speed. 23 minutes on the next speed. And 14 minutes on the highest speed. And there's the little switch there for the light to go on. Now, one lady messaged and said, oh, it goes red. Why is that? And that is to show you that it's kind of doing an extra hard suck, an extra hard vac if you hit something that maybe is maybe the rug is lifting slightly, or the pile is going against it. It kind of goes into like another level, and then that red just goes off. Oh, it needs emptying. It really is easy to empty. It's just got a little, I won't do it here for obvious reasons, it's just got a little clip here, so I just hold it over the bin and click that, and it's got all sorts of attachments. And yeah, this is our vacuum cleaner of choice. And when you've got, I know, when you've got 3 to choose from, and this is the one you choose, that speaks for itself. So I won't do the vacuuming because you'll all say you can't hear a word I'm saying, so that's a bit pointless. So I've got the chicken wings in there ready, roasting off. And the next thing I'm going to do is this stuffing mix. Now, I've done this for the last 2 or 3 years and it has been so popular. I use it for sausage rolls and I use it for stuffing on Christmas Day. The other thing I use are these foil trays. These are from Costco, but I'm sure you can find similar anywhere. And they're a really sturdy foil tray. One of my sister-in-laws was actually getting something that had been cooked in a foil tray out of the oven. It was a shepherd's pie, I think, and the tray bent and she really badly scalded her hand. So I would say these are really, really sturdy, but if you want to be on the safe side, put them on a baking tray, and certainly if they're not as sturdy, put them on a baking tray. Now, the other thing I've learnt to do, because you always think you remember, you never do, I get them labelled up ready. So we've got sausage meat stuffing 23, and we've got pigs in blankets 23, and they're ready for filling. And then we've got Xmas gravy 23, and I might need 2 bags. I've got another bag there, but I didn't want to write on it in case I don't need it. Now, I have got one of those stands, you know, that the bag goes onto. And I don't know if it was last year or the year before, as I was pouring it into the stand, the bag collapsed and the gravy went everywhere. Now, after I'd spent like an hour, oh sorry, I thought that was the dog bag, making the gravy, I was not impressed. So now I put that into a bowl and just peg it to one side so I can hold one side and pour it in. Nightmare. And then you simply, obviously when it's cooled down a bit, and then you simply push the air out and I freeze it flat like that. I will need 2 bags looking at that, thinking about it sensibly. So that's how I freeze the things. Now, I've made up the stuffing mix. Now this was just a Tesco sage and onion stuffing mix. I just made it according to the packet. It was 170 grams, and that's cooled down now. I wouldn't put it straight in with the raw sausage meat to freeze, because obviously it will kind of start to cook the sausage meat. So that's a very stiff mixture. What I did do, I added a few chopped dates into it because I quite like something sweet, not loads. So it would be like a Brucey bonus if you get a date in there. And then what I'm going to do, I love stuffing by the way. Oh, and I've got 800 grams of high quality sausage meat. I can't be doing with cheap sausage meat, or sausages as I like to call them. I do like a good sausage. I'll just move on from that cobble. So here's the sausage meat. I mean, this is so easy, but it's so delicious. And like I say, it works equally well in sausage rolls, which I will be making another day. So I'm just going to break up this sausage meat. I put the gloves on just because I don't really want it all under my nails and everything. And then I just simply start working the stuffing mix into the sausage meat. And I said to Mum on the phone this morning, this is what I was doing today. And do you know what she said to me? You'll have nothing to do on Christmas Day. And I said, well, that's kind of the whole point, Mum. I said, we're not all martyrs. I think of the years that she was out in that kitchen cooking all day on Christmas Day. We used to go to church, have a full English breakfast when we got home. I mean, I do not know where we put that food. And then we would come home, we'd come home, have the full English breakfast after church. We'd opened all our presents before we went to church. And then she would start cooking for 6 children, and usually her parents too, and any other people that had nowhere to go. And to me, that's what Christmas is about. I've often said if anybody's on their own at Christmas, they can come to us. And we have got a young lady coming this year actually who I don't know very well, but she's on her own this Christmas and she's coming to us for Christmas, and that to me is the spirit of Christmas. That's me. We're all entitled to what we think. As I've said before, you do you and I'll do me. And let's hope we all just have a lovely time. So just go, it's just so easy. I mean, literally anybody could do this, but it sort of elevates it from just being a packet to being your own thing. And I just freeze that, and then what I did last year actually was I added some brown breadcrumbs to the top when I baked it, and just some just some dobs, I don't know if that's a technical term, of goose fat, just to help crispen those breadcrumbs up. So I just do it quite kind of rustic, and that's that, ready to go in the freezer. I mean, that could not be easier, could it really? So I'll take these gloves off. I'm done with the mucky stuff now. And I put that in the sink. Put the sink. Rubbish. Kitchen roll. I'm just going to check on this. So that's just starting to brown off. A little way to go yet. And then I'm sure you've all done this, and I think, do they do this all over the world? Pigs in blankets. So again, just ready with the tray. I got all these chipolatas from Costco. How many's in there? I don't know how many's in there. That's weird, isn't it? Anyway, let's hope I've got enough streaky bacon. Last weekend, I bought the bacon from the local farm shop, and the difference in flavour was remarkable. And you know, none of that white liquid came out of it. This is good quality bacon too. And you know, I have to say, I would rather have one rasher of really good bacon than 2 or 3 rashers of cheap bacon. It makes so much difference. The flavour, I mean, Mum was here, when Mum was here last time, we went back to the farm shop because she said, you know, the meat tasted like it should. And I think when we're all trying to cut back a little bit on red meat, it's not a bad idea, is it, to have, you know, higher quality and less meat, really. So the sausages from Costco are pretty good. They're not top, but they're not cheap and nasty. They are, well, they call it the premium range, but I mean, they can say whatever they like, can't they? I mean, that doesn't actually mean anything. So, you know, this again is a really, really simple job. But it saves me doing it on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. I want to relax and enjoy the time with the family. The potatoes are already in the oven. I've shown you how to do it in the oven. That would be bad, wouldn't it? I've shown you what I do. I buy the peeled potatoes from Tesco, and I parboil them and let them cool, rough them up a little bit, you know, so they get the edges, and then cover them in oil and freeze those. So they're already in the freezer. All of this stuff just makes my life easier. And if I can make my life easier, happy days, because then I'm happy, you know. And when you work so hard to get to Christmas, I think it's important that you do enjoy it and that you don't feel like a martyr. I mean, you know, the kids don't want you to feel like a martyr, do they? I'm going to just spread this bacon out a little bit because I think that that's not going to go the whole way. So I'll kind of cut a few bits off to make sure I can get all the sausages covered. I mean, that's actually enough, what's on there. So every other one I can have these sausages I've got left. So how many rashers of bacon was there? There was 14 rashers of bacon, 28 sausages, so it's 28 rashers of bacon. So I'm going to have to do another tray of these, I reckon, because these are very, very popular. They're popular on the day, and they're popular on Boxing Day cold as well. You know, people just love to go to the fridge and nick this stuff out, don't they? So, yeah. I haven't even made a list yet of Christmas shopping and stuff. I have bought a few bits and bobs, which I've sort of been showing you as I go along. I'm just cutting about a third of these rashers off because just to spread it over a little bit. And these, I'm piling them up to freeze, but actually when they're defrosted, I'll split them down so that they're on their own tray, you know, so that they're not, otherwise they'll just kind of, the bacon won't crisp up. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll finish doing this, and then I will, what I'm going to do, I'll just look at this. Yeah, there's still a long way to go with that, so I will let that come to the end of its time, and then I'll switch the camera off, and then I'll come back to it and show you what I do for the rest of it. Oh, look at that, typical, isn't it? I'm going to have too much bacon now. When I was a kid, we never had the sausages wrapped in bacon. I think Mum thought it was too much work. So we just had bacon rolls, and I did used to do that for years. So what I'll do with this leftover bacon here, I will just make little rolls of that. It's only a little bit. So a little extra on that one. Yes, I mean, that's all we used to do, was just have a little bacon roll like that on the plate next to the sausages. You know, it's that whole thing, isn't it, of whatever you had as a kid, you think that's what everyone does. And it's only when, you know, your children really go to other houses for Christmas lunch that you find out what other people do. And I've only ever had Christmas lunch at my mum's or here, never eaten Christmas lunch anywhere else. I guess that day will come, but for now it's down to me, and so I keep up the traditions that I'm used to. So anyway, I will stop the camera and then I will come back and finish the gravy. Right, so I've put my kind of mobile hob up here, and I'll just get the, you can see how nicely browned that is now, and that's going to go in here with all the juices and everything else into this hot pan. And then you just basically break this down, because what you're trying to do is get all the flavours from the vegetables, the onions, the bones, the chicken meat. You're just, you know, letting those flavours develop. That's Dolly with a new, we got her a new treat trainer thing, so she has to bit is like a flying saucer, and you put the treats in the top. She's lost it. Hang on, I'm gonna have to go and get it. So it's this thing. The treats go in there, and then she has to flip it and spin it to get the treats out. So that over there. That should do the trick. She's just had a big long walk anyway. So that has to be fried off, and then you just keep mashing it down to break up the bones and get that kind of, you know, browning, because it's the browning that gives you the flavour really. So I'm just going to have to let that fry for a little while. And I'm going to add 60ml of sherry. Feels like Christmas, doesn't it, as soon as you can smell the sherry. And let that cook down as well. It smells so good, honestly. But why wouldn't it? Onions, bacon, chicken. The longer you let it fry, the darker your gravy will be. Where's she done with it now? She's not very bright, Tolly. She was spinning that toy around and the treats were flicking out, and she was so busy spinning it, she hadn't noticed that the treats had flicked out. So I don't know what she's done with it now, but anyway, I need to get on with this. So I'm just checking that I've got this. Yeah, so we've got that in, and then we need to put in 4 tablespoons of plain flour. So I'll just turn the heat down a little bit. I always keep this container of flour in the by the, you know, by the hob, so that I can grab it rather than getting the big one out. Just get a spoon. You can see the bones are falling apart. It's all coming along quite nicely. The flour is mopping up the oil. You don't want to kind of speed this part up really, because it needs, this is where you're getting all the flavour from. Grace always makes her gravy like this. She always cooks some vegetables, some root vegetables under her roast, and then she makes her gravy from that. Just, you know, just blends it, adds a bit of red wine or white wine or whatever, and there you are, you know, it's a lovely tasty gravy. So we're getting there. It's so tempting to just crack on with this now. I've got no patience whatsoever, but I know that this is the important bit. So, boiling water. That's one, and another one. So it's 2 litres of boiling water goes in there. So you get a nice lot of gravy, which, you know, you can't have too much gravy on Christmas Day, that's for sure. Or I guess for the American viewers, Thanksgiving is very similar. So I know you have turkey and ham, don't you? So I guess it's just something you could do for this. So now you just let this simmer for half an hour. So, and I know I've got some cranberry sauce in the freezer. I have got a jar of cranberry sauce, but I know that I've got some homemade cranberry sauce. So I need to dig that out. And I think you add that in. So I'm just going to turn that down to a simmer. Make sure there's and let that just look after itself. all those flavours get absorbed. And I'm going to stop for lunch, and I'll come back for the last part of the equation. So this is the gravy ready to be passed through a sieve in order to cool down and then freeze. I've tasted it, adjusted it slightly. I've added a bit more salt, a bit more pepper, and I actually put a little squeeze of honey in here because it just had that little kind of acidity to it. And now I think the taste is perfect. On the day, let it defrost, then just heat it up in the microwave or a pan, and then you add your cranberry sauce if you want to, if the taste is such that you want to add that to it. A couple of tablespoons of cranberry sauce to take it to the table. So this can be a bit messy, but basically I've got my sieve here. It says a coarse sieve, this is the only sieve I've got, and a large bowl. So you simply, she says, pop it into there and push it through. So, you know, there's a lot of goodness in here. And you just push it through the sieve to get as much flavour, again, as you can. I must admit, I have been known to, when this is all finished, pick out some of the cooked chicken and eat it because it's so flavoursome. And that's what my finished gravy will look like. And then that will go into the bag that I showed you earlier and be, once it's cooled, frozen flat, ready for Christmas Day. And I'll just get that out of the freezer on Christmas Eve. So I would 100% recommend this recipe, and it also takes away loads of stress on Christmas Day. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. I'll be doing some more Christmas cooking, but I just thought I'd do these 3 things because I was doing them. See you later. Bye.